And now, a reading. Interior, Bunker's living room at night. Archie is in his usual spot in his armchair, reading the newspaper with his reading glasses perched precariously on his nose. Edith is fussing with a doily on the coffee table.
Oh, Archie, isn't it lovely and quiet tonight? Just the two of us?
Yeah. Just like living in a tomb. Where's Meathead and the little girl anyway? Still out there causing trouble?
Michael said they were going to some kind of consciousness raising meeting.
Ugh. Consciousness raising? What's the matter with their consciousness? Ain't they conscious that the rent's gotta be paid and the garbage ain't gonna take itself out? This is a bunch of malarkey.
Now, Archie, be nice, okay? They think it's important.
Important? The only thing important is a good day's work and a cold beer at the end of it. Not listening to a bunch of fellas tell you how you ought to think. The next thing you know, they'll be telling you, oh, you gotta eat like liver.
Oh, Archie, you and your liver.
Well, it's a principle, Edith. A principle. A man's gotta draw a line somewhere. First it's consciousness raising, then it's liver loving. Where does it end? I'll tell you, this whole world's going crazy.
The front door opens and Michael and Gloria enter.
Oh, great. The revolutionaries are back. Did you raise any consciousness out there, Meathead? Or just a lot of dust? And scene. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of The Retorted Show, brought to you by the Working Perspectives Podcast. I'm Matt Lavelle. He's Bern Podcassy, and it's going to be a lot of fun tonight. Bern, great job on the All in the Family. You're an excellent Edith.
And you will always be my Archie, Maddie.
I messed up a couple lines, but hey, that's the breaks. Hey, Bern, let's keep it moving. Forget about the lines I messed up. That's going to haunt me for the rest of my life. How about a fun fact?
Yes, sir. Let's forget about all those troubles and dive right into a fun fact.
All right, fun fact. A little trivia for you, Bernie.
Okay.
Bernie Mac.
I'd like me some trivia.
All right. The show NewsRadio. You heard of it? You love it?
Love NewsRadio.
Great show. Great show. Shout out Phil Hartman. Incredible.
Late great.
Either way, do you know who originally was casted to play the character, the role of handyman Joe Gorelli on NewsRadio?
Who was originally cast?
Oh yeah.
No, it ended up being Joe Rogan, right?
That's correct.
But no, I don't know who the OG cast member was.
Well, the original cast for Joe on NewsRadio went to the one and only Ray Romano. That's right. He was cast as Joe Gorelli on NewsRadio very early on, even before the pilot episode was filmed. However, after a couple of days of rehearsal, it was determined that his comedic style didn't quite mesh with the fast-paced ensemble dynamic of the show. So Ray Romano was indeed let go from NewsRadio. The role of Joe was then played by Greg Lee in the pilot, and then subsequently the character was renamed Joe and famously portrayed by Joe Rogan for the remainder of the series. While being released from NewsRadio might have freed up Ray Romano's schedule, it wasn't the direct cause of him starring in Everybody Loves Raymond, which came out due to his stand-up comedy and subsequent development deal with CBS. So while he was initially part of NewsRadio and later replaced by Joe Rogan, his departure wasn't the reason he landed Everybody Loves Raymond. But had he not left NewsRadio,
he probably never
had everybody.
Yeah, he probably never gets that huge monster life-changing show.
Or if he's a hit on NewsRadio, then he gets a spin-off of NewsRadio instead of Everybody Loves Raymond.
That's very true. What was he?
Very,
Wasn't
very
he?
true.
Was he a sports writer? And Everybody Loves Raymond. Is that his job?
I never saw an episode.
I don't remember. I didn't
Never
really.
saw an
I
episode.
didn't watch it either. I think he was a sports writer. I think that was his job
I
on that.
I know former guest or former co-host of the show, J Dub, I believe met the brother Brad.
Brad Garrett.
Yeah, apparently he was like the breakaway star, wasn't he?
I think he was. Yeah, he was the comic relief. Doesn't J Dub also do an excellent Ray Romano?
Oh, he does an incredible Ray.
He
He
does do
does a
incredible Romano.
phenomenal. He does a good Ray. He does a good Ray. It's not as good as your guy. What's the one you do? Who's your guy?
Mike Lindell.
Mike, you do a great Lindell. A great Lindell. But yeah, no, he does a good Romano. Very good. But either way, that's our first fun fact. Would you like to hear another fun fact?
Yeah, man. Keep the good times rolling.
All right, here we go. So, all right. Whiskey. Vern, you know it. You love it.
Oh yeah, we've spent some evenings.
You've had some time with old Whisk. I know you
Sure
have.
have.
I know you have. I've been there with you. So, whiskey. There is a rumor I heard that the Irish, as in the country of Ireland, had no new inventions for 300 years after the invention or discovery of whiskey. Invention or discovery. I don't know what to say. Yeah. So the country of Ireland had the rumor was the country of Ireland had no new inventions for 300 years after they found whiskey. Right. So here we go. That's a humorous thought, I've been told. The idea that the delights of whiskey could halt innovation for 3 centuries, however, the reality is quite different. While Ireland does have a rich and long history with whiskey, dating back possibly as far as the 6th century AD, it certainly didn't experience a 300-year drought of inventions following its emergence. In fact, that period saw numerous advancements and contributions from Irish individuals in various fields. From significant developments in agriculture and architecture to notable figures in literature, science, and exploration, Ireland continued to be a land of innovation and progress throughout these centuries. So, while the allure of good Irish whiskey is undeniable, it thankfully didn't stifle the ingenuity and creativity of the Irish people for such an extended time. But I'm sure there was a little break in the chain there, you know?
That was probably a little bit. It was just a different kind of creativity. Like,
Yeah. I
you
mean, they
know,
might have been more. I mean, definitely
that's
music and literature got a big old bump with the whisk and fighting. They were fighting like crazy.
even like agriculture. Like, there's two guys in a bar all soused up. And one of them's like, "Nah, this is how you plant the grain." The other one's like, "No, you fucking jerk. This is how you plant the grain." And they beat the shit out of each other. And
Hmm.
then eventually one guy goes, "Oh, I was right. This is actually how you plant the grain." We're
Dude,
buddies because we're sober now.
I'll tell you, man, whiskey does bad. I'm bad on whiskey. I think you know. I get like really like whiskey just turns my blood to vinegar, man. I just
I
get
can't even remember the last like, but you knew that early too. You knew
yeah.
that
I had
early
a
in the
couple
game that
bad
you were not
experiences.
a whiskey
Yeah.
guy. I mean, it's probably been 20 years since I've maybe not 20, but closer to 20 than 15 years since I've seen you drink whiskey. Like you figured that
Yeah.
out pretty early in the
Yeah.
game that was not going to be your beverage of choice. Now a Stud Light,
Oh. Oh.
no problem. All day, every
I'll
day.
take Stud Lights till the cows, Daddy. Till the
Mm-hmm.
cows come home, Daddy.
Never seen a
Love
better.
me a nice cold Prince of Beers, the Stud
Yeah,
Light.
yeah. Never saw you have a bad night on the Stud Light. Had some Stud
Mhm.
Lights had some bad nights when you were out there, but yeah, I never saw you go
Never,
wrong.
never had a bad night on the Stud Light. That's for damn sure, baby. That's for damn sure. All right, Burn. Well, that was our first section with some fun facts. How would you like to keep it moving and commence to commenting?
Let's hear from our peoples.
Burn. We've talked about her once. We've talked about her twice, and every time it's oh so nice. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Could it be Miss Metal?
I mean, obviously she's great and all that stuff, but there's some other
It can't be.
beautiful.
It can't be. It can't be Arabella Del Busa, can it?
Close.
Oh, so it's from my mom.
No. Burn. There's one.
Why don't you just tell me who made the comment, Daddy?
Burn. We got another comment on the Olympic crush from the 90s, the one and only
Mooch.
Dominique
Look
Mucciano.
at me. I got mooch all over my face right now. How'd I miss that? How'd I forget?
It's Dominique Mucciano.
I feel like a real Spragonza, you know? Not
I
remembering that.
mean, you should. It's the mooch, Daddy. It's the
God,
mooch. We love the mooch. We
love the
love the
mooch.
mooch.
We love the
There
mooch.
ain't nothing wrong with loving the mooch and the mooch loving you. So, first comment comes from it comes off the Olympic crush from the '90s, Dominic Mucciano shorts clip, and it's from Gerald Reinhardt. Gerald Reinhardt. I got no. It doesn't show any subscribers, and he's got some playlists but no videos. Right? He has the Star of David as his thumbnail picture,
Mm-hmm.
and this is what he put. So he put, when I was a lad, I watched the Olympics. I must admit, I was mesmerized by Dominique. I used to fantasize about her being my wife. I remember when I was 12 years old, I would lay in my bed, I would hold my pillow and pretend that I was holding Dominique. In the stillness of the night, as I lay there in the dark, I would whisper her name, Dominique Mucciano. Bro,
That's beautiful, man. That
bro,
was
that
that was
is.
that was real. That was some real mooch love right there. Some real
Dude,
mooch love right there.
Dominique Mucciano, we know you're listening, fan of the show, listener of the show, and Gerald Reinhardt, he loves you.
You
I
touched
mean,
him deeply.
dude, the mooch is still looking good, Daddy. Mooch is
Yeah, hell
still
yeah.
looking good,
You don't lose
and
that.
she's short. And she's short, Daddy.
Real short, yeah.
Real short, and I really like it. So that was our first comment of the night, but let's keep it moving, Burn. Keep it on moving down the road. We're going to try something new. Trying
Yes,
something
we
new,
are.
people. And we do
Yes, we
not
are.
know how it's going to go. And
No, we don't.
honestly, I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous.
Samesies.
So, speaking of samesies, we're going to play a game called Same Brain. If you know it at home, play along with us. But here's the deal. On the count of three, we're each going to say a word at the same time, very same time, right? And eventually, we want to get to where we say the same word. We did a practice round of this and gave up after like the seventh word that we
Yeah,
didn't get.
we weren't good.
So fingers crossed that we're gonna do it. So
We'll just try
okay.
to do a quick two, like stream of consciousness. You know what I mean? Not too much thinking about it.
Yep. Yep. All right, here we go. First one. So I'm gonna count down. We're each gonna say a word and we're gonna try to get even kill. All right. And also, Burn, you're allowed to repeat words from our practice round. I'll just tell you that.
Okay,
All right, you ready?
ready.
Here we go. Three, two, one. Food.
Pizza.
Okay. Okay.
Not terrible.
Okay. Food and pizza. All right. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Ready?
Ready.
Three, two, one. Italian.
Pepperoni.
Oh, okay. 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 Yep. 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 Yep.
Okay. All
All
right.
right. Italian pepperoni. I got you. All right. So this is the third one. Here we go. Three, two, one. Sausage.
Sausage. What? Yeah.
Three. Oh,
Three.
three.
Wow. 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 That's going to
Man,
be, we set the bar super high. Ladies and gentlemen, we attempted this a little practice round before, and we
gave
were
up.
not on the same page.
No.
We were not in, I mean, we might have been in the same ballpark, but we definitely weren't in the right section. We definitely weren't watching the same thing. So
No.
the fact that we just got it on three, incredible.
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 Absolutely incredible. So, all right, Burn. You ready to try again?
We're gonna push our luck right away. Okay, let's push our luck right away. Let's give it one more.
Here
One
we
more.
go. Let's see how we can do. All right. All right. Clear it out.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Three, two, one. Wrestling.
Animal.
Okay.
Okay.
Animal. Okay.
Okay.
All right. A wrestling animal. All right. Wrestling animal. All right. Okay. All right. Here we go. Three, two, one. Gorilla.
George. Not. I mean,
Gorilla George. Okay. I think we got it. Okay. Here's the third one again for the tie.
Okay.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Monkey.
Junkyard dog. God damn.
Oh my god. Oh boy, here we go. This is how it
Uh-oh.
starts, Daddy. This
Okay.
is how it starts.
All right. What'd you say?
I said monkey.
All right. Everybody be careful here. All right. Okay. Let's just roll with
Whose
it.
brain we saming? That's the problem. We don't know which brain we're going, right?
No, we
I'm
don't.
trying to find your brain. You're trying to find my brain. You know?
Yeah.
All
I mean, I
right.
think that's the whole challenge, right?
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So you said junkyard dog and I said monkey.
Yeah.
Fuck, we're in trouble here. We
All
are in
right.
trouble.
There's an obvious one out there. You ready?
No.
I'm going with an obvious one. Remember where we started?
Where did we start? What was the first
I
one?
said animal and you said wrestler or wrestling or wrestler. I'm not sure which one you said.
And then you said George and I said gorilla.
Mm-hmm.
And then you said junkyard dog. And I
Yeah.
said,
Monkey.
okay. All right. Hmm. Man, I'm fucking blanking. All right. Here we go. Here we go.
Blank,
I'm
the
just trying
blank.
to think.
All right.
Uh, okay. All right. Here we go.
All right.
3, 2, 1. Road
Snake.
Warriors. Snake. Oh, did you say snake?
I
Oh,
did.
fuck.
I
All
did.
right. Okay. All
All
right.
right.
Here. This is the fifth one. Here we go.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Jake.
DDT.
Fuck. We're there. We're fucking there, dude.
Uh,
All right. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Stone Cold Steve
drop.
Austin. What'd you say?
Okay. I said leg drop. All right. Let's just keep going right
All
now.
right. 3, 2, 1. Hulk Hogan.
Budweiser.
Get on the same brain, baby.
I'm trying.
Yeah, what are we on? Is this 7?
We're going deep here. Let's just keep going.
Fuck. All right. Fuck. I don't even know where to go. Oh man.
Come on, think contemporaries. All right. Famous.
All
Let's
right.
go. All right.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Bret Hart.
Macho.
Fuck.
All right.
All
Let's just
right.
go. Let's go off yours. All right.
This is no. This is okay. This is
All right.
this is number 8.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Shawn
Shawn
Michaels.
Michaels. All right, single digits. We kept it in the single digits.
Daddy.
All right.
Man.
Okay. Well, good. We set the bar high, and then we set the bar realistically right after that. So you guys can see what an incredible score 3 actually is.
Woof.
Woof. So 9. Right. So 9 single digits. That could have been worse.
Do we dare? One more.
Yeah, I mean, we need all the practice we can get, obviously.
Last one. Usually, first time we try something, we do it in 3s, right? That's our
true. That's very, very, very true.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Football.
Sports. Okay.
Okay.
I got you.
3, 2, 1. Eagles.
Eagles.
Fucking 2, Daddy.
I was same braining you on that one. That one.
You same brained my fucking dick right off there, Daddy.
Slithered right in there. I knew exactly where you were going.
Yep. You'd think I was gonna say the Giants? Like a
I knew you weren't.
Piece.
I knew
like
you weren't.
Fucking piece.
I knew that.
All right. Okay.
All right.
So we got a 3, a 9, and a 2. Do we dare?
No, we can't. We can't.
All right.
Good
That's it
camp.
for the new segment of Same Brain. If you're playing along at home, let us know how you did. But that was our first segment, Same Brain segment. Loved it. Burn, you want to keep it moving? Let's give it back to commence to some commenting. Are you
Yeah,
ready?
let's hear from the peeps.
Here we go. So we have a newer retort. I think this person is a returning retort. It's their residents of Utopia, Veru da Domaja, 8,280 subscribers off of 227 videos. So they've been doing some
Yeah,
stuff.
they're working.
Shout out, shout out. We don't know if they're all real. They could be fake. Either way, they left
Sure.
two comments on two different videos, but for the same thing. So the first one is he left two different comments on two clips from the Isaiah Maxwell episode.
Okay.
So, do you remember Isaiah Maxwell? It was episode 353. So, literally almost 100 episodes ago, Isaiah Maxwell has got a big old hog on him,
Yeah.
daddy.
Yeah,
He got that big stroke.
that's
So,
the era I thought he was in.
yeah. So he left two comments. So first comment comes. It's the Isaiah Maxwell gives us an industry history lesson. So this is what residents of Utopia wrote. They said most porn stars are actually highly tested, which
Mhm.
is good so they won't get sick. But I understand what he's saying. You don't want to have sex with people not tested. Dot dot dot. But I hope they having sex with people they really want to have sex with, not because they have to. For fuck's sake. How old is this 13-year-old?
Yeah, well, I mean, like, no, it's not an incredibly sweet thought and a sentiment. It's a job, so I would like no one's making you, you know, like no one's making you do anything you don't want to do. I think most of these performers have, I mean, they do have the ability to be like, I do or do not want to work with that person. I'm sure they're not all ideal. We don't like everybody that you don't like everybody in your office. I don't like everybody at my job, but you still find a way to work with them. But it's a sweet thought. It's a
Yep.
sweet
All
thought.
right. Very good. Next comment comes off the Isaiah Maxwell talks about how some guys are gay for pay. I remember that. So this is a comment that residents of Utopia said. He said, "That's sad. They don't want to do it." Crying face emoji. I'll tell you this. So Isaiah
Yeah,
Maxwell on the show talked about how some guys are gay for pay. And
yeah.
honestly, it's usually guys that don't have a fucking whammer like Isaiah Maxwell. But we had another guy on the show, and oh fuck, and I'm blanking on his name. Oh, it's gonna drive me fucking nuts.
All I can think
Uh,
about is his dick right now.
well, no, he was a gay performer, right?
Hmm.
Or bi or whatever. But he said he's like his favorite is when a guy. This is exactly what he said. He said his favorite guy to shoot with is when a guy comes on that says he's gay and wants to film gay content, but then at the moment the guy says, "Oh, I'm actually not gay. I don't want to do it," and then he said he forces him to do it anyway.
Well, don't tell Utopia Dreamer that because
No.
they're going to lose sleep over that one. They're just
Yeah, 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 dude. That guy. Colby Jansen, maybe I think his name was. Something along those lines. But yeah, so there you go. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, babe. What are you gonna do?
yeah. Sorry, Utopia. Everyone has a choice for the most part. It's just a question of
Everybody got a
do I want to
choice.
do this or do I want to get evicted? That's life, man. That's how the world works.
Yeah, yeah, for realsies. So, yep. So that's right. So okay. So either way, yeah, Colby. I think it's Colby Jansen. I think is his name. But either way. So that's the comments for this sector burn. Let's keep it on moving. Keep it on moving down the road.
Let's do it.
The road.
Bum
Wait.
bum 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 bum.
Oh, okay. So here we go. So this is what we got. We're doing back off yuppies, baby. Time for them yuppies to sit on back and shut on up. Burn, our first topic of tonight, and I'm going to let you take the lead on this.
Okay.
We're talking girls soccer. talking girls youth soccer, daddy. Girls youth soccer, daddy. Burn, take it away.
Youth soccer is awesome. Whether you're playing boys, girls, co-ed, it's fun sport. Kids get to run around. They get to have a lot of fun. It's not overly complicated at that level. You know, you kick the ball, you run after it. It's pretty simple. Nothing is more wholesome and pure and enjoyable than watching some kids go out there and play soccer. You can watch kids go out and try to play baseball. It's hard to hit a baseball. You might be standing around a long time watching catchers miss balls, guys just swing at nothing, boys or girls. Soccer, at least everyone can get involved. There is nothing that bothers me more than overbearing parents. And there's nothing that bothers me more than overbearing parents who have no fucking idea what they're talking about. And let's be clear about something. Soccer's not the biggest sport in America, right? Maddie, when did you stop playing soccer?
I think seventh grade.
Right. You're coaching your daughter's team now, correct?
I am.
So you can still figure out, as it's not like you're a lifelong soccer aficionado and you've been studying tactics and maneuvers for years. Your job is to get them out there, have some fun, get them in the right spots, give them some confidence, have a great time. Most of the coaches are volunteers, and I don't expect the coaches to know everything about the game either. It's that yuppie parent in the stands who's screaming about offsides, pull the offsides trap. Those people drive me absolutely insane. If you got something to say, then go down to the field, volunteer, and grab a whistle because everybody needs you.
So my niece is for her age group, she's 9, and she's on the 11th ranked girls soccer team for her age group in the country. They're number 1 in the state of Pennsylvania.
Ooh.
And this coach has some rules. One of them being if a parent is yelling at the kids or like yelling at the coach, their kid will sit. Right?
Love it.
And if a parent is disturbing like the other sidelines or anything like that, their kid will sit. And I was like, that is the best rule. He's like, oh yeah, we're the best behaved sideline you've ever seen, you know? And I was like, I bet. And also, the girls need to listen to the coach because the coach knows
Correct.
what they're doing, right? And they have a game plan that was implemented by the coach. I will say this. I feel like if you had to say what is more blue collar, women's soccer or men's soccer, I feel like in America, women's soccer is considered more blue collar, right? Like as far as like I think just like girls that play soccer, I think are tougher, viewed tough, more tough, like that they're tougher than boys who play soccer,
Well,
right?
sure, because when I grew up, soccer season and football season were at the same time. They were both in the
Yeah.
fall. So if you didn't
Mm-hmm.
play football, you were a grass fairy, you know?
Yeah. Big time. So this is what I think though. So youth soccer, while sometimes perceived as a suburban pastime, often carries a strong blue collar essence. So the dedication of parents working long hours to afford equipment and travel fees, the players' gritty determination on the field regardless of weather, and the community driven fundraising efforts to support local teams all highlight that type of connection. You'll find families from diverse backgrounds carpooling to practices after work, coaches volunteering their time after their own demanding jobs, and a spirit of hard work and perseverance that resonates deeply with blue collar values. This isn't to say youth soccer excludes anyone, but rather that its accessibility and the commitment it fosters often align with the values of hard work and community seen in blue collar environments. I agree with that, right? And like, dude, tonight we had a game. Shout out the Super Bananas because as of this recording, we are undefeated. We are playing. We have one team left to play that we haven't played in our league yet. We play the blue team on Sunday, but as of now,
Ooh.
the Super Bananas are undefeated. We are rolling, and we've been just laying it out there, absolutely laying it. I got a couple.
What'd
I
you,
got one girl who's been a star all year. She was a star by the end of last year. But yeah, knock on wood, Super Bananas keep it rolling, keep this undefeated season going. I would love it. But yeah, so that's where we're at. But youth soccer itself, I think girls especially, I think it's like, I think that if you're a good female soccer player, one, you looking right. You looking right. You
oh,
know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Girl soccer players looking right. But also, like, I think it's universally accepted that if you're going to play high level soccer, you got to have a gas tank like you would not believe.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true. Hey, let me ask you quick. What did the Super Bananas hang on them tonight?
We went 8-3. So
Eight
this
three.
is how, yeah, this is how it started. Right away. Like we kick off. We started with the ball, kick off, and I got one girl on my team. She went and scored three quick goals. Right. Then I subbed her out, put in a new girl. It's like her second game. And, I had a couple other veterans that are in there. They're from my Pink Ninjas team from last season. They
Sure.
know how
Who
to
could
play,
forget the Pink
but
Ninjas?
then they let up three goals, right?
Okay.
Then I put my ace squad back in. Then we score another three goals. Then we scored another goal. Then it's halftime, and then we shut them out in the second half. But that one, they were giving us some trouble at one point, but then we got back to basics. We got it together, and the biggest thing, like, I don't know, if a coach at another coach asked, like, any, like, we shared, like, advice, mine would be you have to have a set formation, right? Like the way we do it, it's two in the front, two in the back. The two in the front, they're attacking, they're on the offense, and the two in the back are kind of shadowing and waiting until the ball comes to them, which 99% of the time it always does. So
Right.
yeah,
And this is no goal. This is just straight 4-on-4.
yeah, no goalie. If you do try and put a goalie in, you are like ostracized. People get so
Such a
fucking
noodle.
mad.
You're the biggest
Yeah, you're the
noodle ever.
biggest douchebag that's ever lived. If you put a goalie in, you're a loser. Yeah. I mean, I got people sitting back on defense, no problem, right? But that's their job, right? And
Yeah.
like their job is sit back on D and clear the ball, and that's what they do, right? And like we've learned the hard lesson of like where do you clear the ball? You don't clear it in front of the net. All
Not
my
to the
girls learned
middle.
that lesson. It's a good lesson to learn at this age, but also like learning to shadow the ball and not just chase it. That's an invaluable lesson that they're going to take to the next level. Also, and like I was told it tonight, like my girls play physical soccer, right?
Well, it
Like
doesn't
they're getting
surprise
in
me.
there, they're framing, right? They're not afraid to get in there and mix it up. And I like one of my favorite drills that we do. It's almost like it's a one-on-one drill where one girl starts on the goal line, one girl starts at the penalty, and I say go, and the girl at the penalty's got to try and score, and the girl on the goal line's got to try and stop her. And you attack the ball, you cut off their access to the net, and then you clear the ball out. That's the name of the game. You know what I mean? So that I think has been honestly, it's one of our knock on wood, one of our better drills as far as getting them going. But yeah, no, it's been it's youth girl. I will say this though, I have one rule that I enforce big, like heavy. I'm big on this. Is that a lot of the times what'll happen like there'll be like the girl will have a ball or something like that, and one of the other girls from our team will take the ball from their teammate,
No,
right?
no, 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 no.
So I've told them all, and I had to do it tonight, where I was like, "Look, guys, you know the rule. If you take a ball from a teammate, I'm stopping the game and I'm giving the ball to the other team. All right? There's no taking the ball from the teammates. If you do it, just know we're losing the ball. Okay? If you want the ball, get open. Guess what? You'll probably get the ball, right? Because we also lead the league in assists, which if you have two assists in a year, you're the best team
Yeah,
in
you're
U6 ever.
right.
And
You're
we had 10
Barcelona.
assists in our second game. Just saying, you know. So, yeah, the Super Bananas know how to do an assist. They know how to pass, things like that. But just saying, the taking the ball from your teammate thing, you can't tolerate and you can't let that fester.
No, you know
Because
why?
then it's one girl takes over the game and you can't have
It's
that.
a
It's not fair.
it's a yuppie move. You're not trying to build
That's a
future
yuppie
yuppies out
move.
there.
That's
You're
a
not trying to
yuppie
build
move.
future yuppies out there. You're trying to build blue collar teammates.
I had one of my girls tonight. Her nickname is Rocket, which is what everybody calls her. She came up
Awesome.
to me and she said, "One girl pushed me, and I pushed her right back." And I was like, "You're damn right you did.
Damn
That's right,
right you did,
Rocket."
Rocket.
Yeah, Rocket's a little stud. So, all right, well, that's our first back off yuppie topic. Burn. Do you know what our second back off yuppie topic is?
Matt, I have absolutely no idea, but I can't wait to find out.
It's neighbors. It's being good to your neighbors. This is something that I find, right? In this world we have right now, neighbors, it's weird. Like, the older ones, they will talk to you and they kind of get it and they're personable. But the younger new neighbors, there's no I mean, like the social skills are so lacking in the new generation that it's brutal at times, right? So I'm a big fan of, like, I like to know all the neighbors' names, and then my daughter will address them as like Mr. and Mrs., then their last name, not
Correct.
unless it's like our next door neighbor, she calls her by her first name, but that's because like we're pretty close with them, you know. But if it's, the neighbor over there, whatever, or friend's mom or something, it's Mr., or Mrs., whatever, Mr. and Mrs. Jones or something like that. But I also have some older neighbors in my neighborhood, being I'm in a high income area.
Sure.
And one of them the other day, they asked me if I could help them move something. Not a problem. I got these big shoulders for a reason.
Yeah,
Helped her
right.
move something, and when I was there, I noticed that she had purchased like a shed bin that you put on your back deck. And guess what? It needed to be put together. So guess what old Uncle Matty did?
You did not.
I slapped that shit together, Daddy.
What
Slapped
a
that shit
neighbor.
together good and proper. But that's what blue collar neighbors do. Burn. Take it away.
Yeah, I mean, the blue collar view is that neighbors are not just the people who live next door or across the street from you. They're your immediate community. You know what I mean? Your first community is your individual family, and then right outside of that are your direct neighbors. And outside of that, maybe you got a block, then you got a town or a borough or a county. But the closest thing you're going to find to families are your neighbors. We just had Easter dinner with our neighbors down the street a couple days ago. It was absolutely lovely. It was
Oh,
delightful.
do they do the ham?
No, they had done a ham. They had done a ham the week before for something else, so they did a brisket, and I wasn't
Oh,
mad at it, baby.
nice.
I
No,
wasn't mad at
brisket's
it.
good. Brisket's good. I love the ham on Easter though.
Yeah,
You know, the good Easter ham. That's some good stuff, dude. It's a
that is
good
some good
stuff.
stuff.
Little pineapple on there, Daddy, with the
Ooh,
glaze, with some either au gratins or mashed potats.
oh, grass is the way to go with that. But yeah, I mean, being a neighbor is about recognizing community, and I mean, it's funny. Like we've lived on streets even as younger guys. We knew our neighbors. We knew our neighbors on 20th Street. We knew our
Yeah.
neighbors on 13th Street. But I
Yes.
see what you're talking about. When we moved to certain places, when we first moved to York, we were in townhouses.
Mm-hmm.
We're all on top of each other. We didn't know anyone. There was
Mm-hmm.
no kind of sense of community. No one knocked on anybody's door. There
Yeah.
was never like, hey, can you do me a favor? Or hey, do you mind if I park my car here? It was just like everybody was kind of out doing their own thing. And
Mm-hmm.
that was a weird feeling in townhouses because you're right on top of each other. So it's like
Yeah.
we might as well get to know each other. So
Might as
yeah,
well.
blue collar neighbor community. That's some
Bottom line,
community shit.
Vern. Yeah, bottom line. The concept of being a good neighbor often aligns more closely with blue collar values than those of the yuppie stereotype. While anyone can be a good neighbor, the actions often associated with it, i.e., lending a hand with a repair, helping with yard work, or simply being there in times of need, reflect a practical, hands on approach and a strong sense of community. There are values traditionally emphasized in blue collar communities where people rely on each other and understand the importance of a mutual support. It's about a shared sense of responsibility and a willingness to contribute to the well being of those living nearby, rather than focusing solely on an individual advancement or material wealth. Also, small things like shoveling. Like I'll shovel and clear off the cars for my older neighbors. And then I had a neighbor the other day that she had a ton of toys that, she usually uses for her nieces and whatever. She brought them over for my daughter. And she's like, your daughter will love these. They're basically brand new. And she had brought over like some ricotta pie from her Easter, like, good neighborly stuff,
Goes around, comes around, man.
right? Just being good neighbors, helping people out, knowing that if they need anything, give us a buzz. We got them. That's blue collar, right?
God damn straight.
Good. All right. Last comment before we commence to commenting somewhere else. Vern, I don't know what it is, but we got another comment on a porn star. So, Catherine Knight has the best answers ever shorts clip, and the comment comes from, and I don't know if I'm saying this right, and I doubt that I am. It's Alfonso Mango underscore Suyu.
Great name. Alfonso Mango is a great name.
Alfonso Mango is a great one. Alfonso Mango underscore Suyu, 89 subscribers on 103 videos. He left a comment on the Catherine Knight knows all the answers clip. I'll tell you this, Catherine Knight, I mean, we had interviewed God knows how many porn stars, Burn. God knows how many. But Catherine
Lots.
Knight was J-Dub's number one. Number one.
Right. Oh yeah, we talked about her recently.
Number one. And it's not even friggin' close, Daddy. So here we go. This is what Alfonso Mango underscore SUYU says. He says thus. He says, I don't know why, but when I watched a very old movie where the girl is tied up and left on the railway line, it turns me on a lot. Burn.
I mean, there's a danger factor, there's a control factor, there's you having someone's life and well-being in your hands factor.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a reason that trope worked so often. There's a reason it was part of all those silent films. There's something kind of, I can see it checking a lot of boxes. I don't know if I hate like a sexual thrill from a woman on getting splattered by a train. I don't think that really does it for me. But I guess it's the idea that person is, you're under your power. You choose what they, live or die.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was a good answer or a bad answer. It's just I wasn't expecting that.
It's a answer, but Burn, how about another reading? Interior, Sacred Heart Hospital in the hallway during the day. JD is skipping down the hallway, lost in a daydream sequence. We see him in a cowboy hat lassoing a giant germ.
Oh, that feeling when you're so on top of things you can practically yodel? Yeah, me neither. But I was feeling pretty good until...
The daydream abruptly ends as JD bumps into a cleaning cart. The janitor emerges from behind it, holding a mop menacingly. Well, well, well. Look what the cat dragged in. Or more accurately, what the clumsy intern tripped over.
Oh, hey, janitor. Didn't see you there.
That's my superpower. Invisibility to the oblivious. If you spent half as much time watching where you were going as you do staring off into space, you might actually avoid this.
Sorry about that. Just thinking.
Thinking. About what? How to properly sterilize a bedpan using only introspective dance? Because I've got some notes.
No, nothing like that. Just life stuff,
Life stuff? Fascinating. You know what I think about life stuff? It's mostly just a series of messes that someone has to clean up. Like this one.
Right. Okay. Well, I can help you with that.
JD bends down to pick up some sponges. The janitor watches him with a suspicious look. Oh, I'm sure you can. But are you really helping? Or are you just trying to lull me into a false sense of security before you unleash some new form of intern-related chaos upon this sacred institution?
Hey, seriously, okay? I just want to help.
That's what they all say. Okay? Right before they accidentally unplug the life support machine to charge their cell phone. I'm watching you, newbie. Always watching. The janitor narrows his eyes and slowly wheels his cart away, leaving JD slightly bewildered.
Yeah. Definitely still watching me.
And scene. And that's been another episode of the Working Perspectives Podcast presents The Retorted Show. I'm Matt Lavelle, he's Burn Podcasty, and in case you're wondering, you can find all our stuff and all our content on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. You can also on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast, join us on Twitter and TikTok at Working P Pod, and if you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email us at workperspectives@gmail.com. And please like and subscribe, and we'll keep bringing you this incredible, amazing content. Thank you so much for listening. You're incredible. Thanks. See ya.